live, we have 4 simple rules. Number 1, we don't discuss politics, ever. Number 2, this is not a religious channel, and while you might hear people say, God bless you, or I'm going to pray for you, or I wouldn't have gotten through this without my faith, that's fine. What's not fine is to say, my God is better than your God, or here's why you're not getting into heaven. It's not going to fly. Number 3, we believe wholeheartedly if you can't control your tongue, then you can't control your life. So while on board, there's not going to be any cursing in the live chat, period. And number 4, there is no room for mean people on the lifeboat. Because we discuss very sensitive things from people's past in our group setting, we got to protect those people. The only way they feel confident and comfortable discussing those things is in an environment that is free of trolls and mean people. So if you're a mean person or you're a troll, we're going to block you for life. And if your account happens to be less than 24 hours old, we're probably a little suspicious right from the word go. Why? Well, because there are people in this world who enjoy being cruel solely for the sake of being cruel. It's not going to fly here. But if you're here because you're trying to get sober and live your best life, then you might find that the lifeboat is just that, a lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and we will see you on deck.
Hey guys, what's up? What's crack-a-lackin'? Hope everybody's doing good in there tonight. Hopefully this will be a little bit more organized. If you know what I'm screaming there, you know what I'm screaming, right? Somebody give me a 5 for 5, make sure we're okay, and then we'll get moving here. And yeah. It's good to see you, Joanne, Miss Hermit, 7th Son, 7th. Thank you, sir, for coming to the defense of your friend here in the comment section. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's the kind of stuff I have to deal with, guys. I mean, it gets a lot worse than that. So, just say, Miss Honey B, Arizona, Miss V, Joanna, Stacy. Cool. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Miss Hermit. CW's in the house. My boy 7th, 40-foot garbage man's here. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hey, 40-foot, how'd you get that name? I'm just curious. Just curious. My dad actually used to drive a garbage truck when I was a kid. Well, I guess I was an adult, but yeah, used to. Used to. Miss Honeybee's in the house. Okay. Yeah, guys, so, what we're going to do tonight, guys, you guys seen the thumbnail, if you guys checked it out a little bit there. The first thing I want to do, though, guys, I do want to apologize for yesterday. It was, let's just say it's a little bit, yeah, I was a little bit scatterbrained. I was trying to do too much at once. I really wanted to get a video in for my other channel because there was stuff going on with space weather. And I tried to sneak it in there before this show because sometimes we'll be able to get some more traffic over here if I do that. And I just couldn't get it done in time. So I do apologize for how that was all a little bit, I guess, how would we word that? Hasty. We definitely, yeah, it was one of those that I wish I could have done it over because I don't think I did the subject very well, just to be honest with you. We are going to go over the second part of that real quick tonight, and then we'll get into the new topic here. I do want to, because I told you guys I would go over that second part of that curve. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do real quick. We're going to go, and I'm not going to rush through it or anything, but I am going to make sure that we talk about it, okay? I'm not going to go in depth on the back end of this, but so we'll just do it that way and we'll get moving. Hey Stacy, what's up? Real quick though, guys, can you guys please share the stream out? I really would appreciate that. I know that we've been talking about that a lot, but that is one of the ways that really it's about the only way we can make sure that everything gets out to as many people as we can. And again, we don't want to harp on it because that's not what we're trying to do. But at the same time, we don't want to not do that. Okay? In case people don't know, because there are people out here that don't know, right? There's a share button if you look at your YouTube, and it'll be on the bottom right. You hit share, and it'll give you all the options to go straight to Facebook, sometimes TikTok. You can put a community post if you got a channel, or even just to your, you can share it to your contact list in your phone, right there from that button. So just would, I would encourage you guys to do that, because it does help quite a bit. Okay. But okay, so we're going to go ahead and get moving here. So what do we got? Well, there's that curve I was talking about yesterday. Okay. And listen, guys, that curve is not like dead on what everybody experiences. Okay. But it's pretty close. I mean, it does a good job of getting us at least some sort of a good idea of what's happening, right? But again, at the end of the day, is it exactly what happens to all of us? No, it's not. And we're all going to be in different parts of this, right? As our recovery moves on. Sorry, guys, that little piece of hair right there bugs me to death. And by the way, guys, I got, you go over and ask Seventh. Arizona probably even seen it. Anybody went over and watched my video last night in the comment section after I did my video here? I got slammed over there because I definitely was rushed yesterday, okay, over there, and it showed, okay? So I just want to point that out. And Seventh, thank you for, like I said, coming to my defense. Don't feel like you need to do that, though, okay? Because sometimes when we do that, and I probably made a mistake by pinning that comment where they were saying, the negative comment that was left. I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't usually do that kind of stuff. But I do take criticism, and I do take it well. I really do. Even when they're negative like that, I try to adjust what I'm doing to make it better for whoever's watching me. Right? I mean, if a YouTuber ain't doing that, or is not doing that, sorry about the grammar there, I don't know that their heart's in it, right? I mean, I really think that you have to, at some level, really take in consideration, at a high level, in my opinion, take in consideration what do your viewers want? Do you want more talk? Do you want less talk? And, and that's where I'm stuck over there. And I don't want to get stuck on all that on my other channel, but that definitely does happen to me, and I've made mistakes, and I've corrected them, and I've made more mistakes, and it's going to continue that way. I just try to do the best I can. But why I say all that is because we try to do the same thing here. We made some pretty big changes at one point, to the point where we pretty much left this platform, and it took us about 3 or 4 weeks, but we figured out, and mainly from you guys, that it wasn't going to work like that, because we pivoted from our goal. We want to help. We want to help people. And if we're not where the people are at, then how can we help? Right? And I know I do a lot of biblical references, but it's like Jesus said in the Bible, listen, you got to go into the house of the sinners to save them, right? You're not going to go into a person's house that's saved to try to save them again. They're already saved. So at that point, all you're doing is trying to build them up and keep them at a certain level. But we want to help new people too. So we're all here for each other, and that's why I say that. And I do try to live my life like that quite a bit. I'm not going to say I always do. That would be a lie. And that's another thing that we struggle with, guys. We have to. I don't struggle with it so much as I used to. Because at first, when I got into recovery, everything I was saying, I caught myself man, I'm lying about everything. I mean, everything. For no reason. And once you figure that out, then you can start correcting it. And I think that's a big part of what we do. It's a big part of what we have to do. And again, guys, I'm a little bit more calm today because I didn't try to do that other stream and stuff. So I do apologize for the hastiness of the stream yesterday. But so we got this addiction recovery curve. It's called the Jelinek curve, and we went through this yesterday, right? And we got through the first part. That's when the addiction part is there. That's the buildup of everything. That's the all the way up until we get to the highest part of our addiction. Actually, you know what I'm going to do here just for a second, guys? I'm going to stretch that out real big just for you guys so you guys can see that, okay? I'm sorry my face isn't there, but I think this is better probably for you guys. Hold on a second. Let me, man, 1 second. Okay. So, again, guys, what did we do? We went through this first part, and we went through how we got to our chronic phase, which is at the bottom of the curve there. Okay? So then this is where we stopped yesterday. So this is when we're in recovery, and this is the steps you have to take. Pretty close. Learning alcoholism is an illness. We talk about that a lot, don't we? What do we call it? Typically, we call it a disease. And yes, I get that a lot of that is just semantics. But like I said before, and what Tommy said a lot of times is words mean things. So we can't forget that. Words mean things. So we do think that it's a disease. And we had Dr. Jetmer on here, and he agreed. And there's a lot of others that agree. Now, you're going to find people that have the opposing opinion. Is that a deal breaker? No. Okay, don't let that get in between you and trying to help somebody in recovery or helping yourself in recovery. Don't let that stuff stop you from being a good friend or even just being a better person for yourself. Okay, let that stuff go if you have to, and that's what that's why we don't talk about it a whole lot anymore, because we already said how we feel about it, right? And by the way, Tommy's still working on his floor, guys. His hands are hurting him, and it's just, so that's why I'm kind of doing the show again tonight. Sorry about that. I should have said that at the top. But anyway, it says, stops talking alcohol. Now, you can substitute that word alcohol for drugs if you need to, okay? And all this stuff keeps going on, right? Then it says spiritual needs examined. Now, that's a big thing for people, because there's people out there that, don't have the spiritual thing. They don't have that part. And, okay. I mean, it's okay. I'm not here to judge people. We don't do that here, right? But I do strongly think that it does help. Whatever your spiritual thing is that you do, and for the most part over here in the Western society, it's going to be Christianity. I mean, we know this, right? And, and we would be remiss not to at least say something like that. So I really do think that needs addressed for people. And I can tell you this, that as soon as you introduce that spiritual component, your strength, whether it's coming from something real or not, is definitely raised to a higher level. Why is that? You guys ever thought about that? Because now you're talking about stuff that now you're saying, hey, if it's a spiritual thing, guess what? I'm not alone. Somebody's there helping me at all times, even when I'm not looking at somebody. Somebody is there always. So that's a big part of the spiritual aspect of it. And whatever your avenue is there, that's fine. Now, if you take that completely out of there, I'm not saying you can't succeed. I'm saying that it's going to be a little harder, if not a lot harder. That's what I'm saying, and it's just my opinion. And there's a lot of people that hold that same opinion. And again, like I said, love and light, prayers, all that, any of that stuff that you talk about, it all makes, it makes a difference. And then shortly after the spiritual part, what do you got? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to blow this up a little bit more too, so you guys can see that even better. I should have done that already. Sorry. that. Okay, there we go. That might help. Okay, so then you got what's right after the spiritual thing. Onset of new hope. That's no coincidence that that's right after the spiritual aspect, because it gives you a lot of hope. Right? I mean, if anybody disagrees with me, please tell me. I mean, I really do like to see you guys' opinion and see how you guys are feeling about stuff like that. But I do think that that's a great thing. You get more hope, and it's not a coincidence that it's right after you re-examine your spirituality. Then it says appreciation of possibilities of a new way of life. Sometimes that takes a lot to get to, and that step right there can actually last quite a long time. Because it's such a big thing that people have to try to push through and try to get to appreciate exactly what life is supposed to be. Not the fake life we were living with the fake happiness and all the chemicals. That's fake. It's all fake. We're not supposed to feel that way from that kind of a thing. We're not supposed to be like that. So just remember that. It says realistic thinking, natural rest and sleep, family and friends appreciate efforts. That right there will keep you strong. Oh my gosh, that will keep you strong. It's amazing once people start saying to you, hey, good job. I'm glad you're really sticking with it this time, right? Then you got, you can move on from that. New circle of stable friends. Now, Tommy just did a show on friends, and yes, the circle has to change. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be a couple people from the last circle that came with you, okay? But you've got to be really, really picky with who those are, okay? Like Tommy said in this video, if you guys are had only thing you had in common was your drug, that person needs to stay out of your circle. Okay? I'm just going to say it. If that's all you had in common, I would strongly suggest, and I'm not saying ignore people unless it's triggering you to want to relapse. Because sometimes those are the people that we can help. But you have to recognize what your triggers are so you don't fall into that. And, early recovery, I would say don't even mess with it. Okay? Just don't even go down that road. Then it says fact-faced with courage. That's a big thing. Courage is a hard emotion to get a hold of and hold on to. Increase of emotional control. Most definitely increase emotional control. You're going to find yourself, you're not as depressed. You're going to find, and this is like as you're going towards staying in recovery and you get to like a maintenance area phase here, that you just stay there. And you can still grow, but you try not to slip backwards. Now remember, I'm not sure if you guys played that game Chutes and Ladders when you were kids, but this is a curve, right? It looks a lot like a chute and a ladder, right? So just as quick as you're going up, you might even be able to fall back down quicker. So you have to be guarded and understand what's going on. So yeah. Care of personal appearance. Listen, the hygiene part goes away. I mean, completely away. When you're depressed, when you are in your heightened part of addiction, because the reason why is you don't care about anything except for your drug. That's it. That is it. Then they talk about group therapy and mutual help continue, right? You got to increase your tolerance to everything, all this stuff. Rationalizations recognized. If you find yourself sitting there saying, man, I just rationalized that, you need to recognize in yourself that was a huge step you just took. You recognized when you were making a mistake before you made the mistake. That when you get yourself to that point, you are very strong in your recovery at that point. Now, again, you cannot let your guard down at any time. And I mean at any time. So yeah. Now, let's do this real quick, and we'll let me, what the heck is that? Alright, let's just do this. Okay. I think that's it. Yep, that's it right there. I'm going to bring this back over, guys, and I'll let you look at this while I talk about it for just a second longer here, and we'll get moving on to the next subject here. And, yeah. Just trying to move this around, sorry. I just want you guys to be able to see this because I would really encourage you guys to take a screenshot. Really would. You know. So anyway, there's that curve. Now, if you guys, again, you guys can Google this. Yeah. You guys can Google this or just, again, pause it, take a screenshot, all of that. If you guys got any questions on any of that, please pop them in there now. I'll probably go ahead and move on to the next subject here as we get moving. But just remember the chronic phase, guys. That phase is a different time frame for everybody. Okay, actually this whole curve is. And the idea is when you get to the top right, you stay there. Okay? So yeah. Okay, now, so what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the next, the thumbnail topic here. Let's, let me take that back out of studio mode for a second. That. Okay. All right, guys. So, there's my mug, right? So, is trouble your friend? Is getting in trouble good or bad when you're an addict? I'd like to know your guys' opinion, honestly. Because this is one of those subjects that I think that the majority of us kind of struggle with. Because we don't know. And how can we get better if we don't know we're messing up? Hey, Ray W. You're welcome, bud. You're welcome, man. I'm glad you're here. Nice to meet you. This, like I said, guys, this is one of those things that when you're in trouble, it can be good and it can be bad and it can be both. So let me explain how I view that. I view that as if you're taking steps and you're doing things and you're not caring. Sometimes you need that little yank on the back of your neck to say, hey, wake up. Right? Now, everybody responds to everything differently emotionally. And this is where it gets a little bit, mucky and muddy for people. Because there's no hard line here. And everybody's situation will definitely be different. Okay, some people respond well to negative reinforcement. Okay, some people, don't. Some people respond better to positive reinforcement. And I'm getting ready to use a comparison here that don't anybody get offended. And I'm not comparing anybody to like a pet or a dog or anything. But when you're training a dog, or any kind of pet for that matter, they try to strike a balance of both. Because there does need to be some negative reinforcement and some positive reinforcement. And it's probably, it leans more towards more positive than negative for most people. Right? Now, if you're completely out of control, you're not going to notice positive reinforcement. It's going to take a negative reinforcement to at least say, hey, you idiot. Look, what are you doing? Look up. Look up, look around. What's happening? Why are you doing this? Why are you, doing whatever you're doing? Why did you go into mom's medicine cabinet, take all of her medicine, and then get into her purse and take all of her money? Right? The cops show up at your door, and you get mad at your siblings for calling the cops on you. So all these things, and that's never happened with me. That's just an example that I've just kind of come up with there on the fly. But it does work. So you're getting a negative reinforcement there by, hey, now I got cuffs on, I'm going to jail. So now you're being forced to get clean, at least to some level, right? Or sober, whatever semantical words we want to use there. So just, that negative doesn't have to stay a negative. Okay? And Tommy is a great example of this. Okay? I guarantee you when he first went to jail, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there the day he got out, right? But did he need to be? That's a question for Tommy. I can't answer that for Tommy. I would guess that he would say, yeah, I've heard him say stuff like that before, right? So, at some level, what started out as a negative thing probably turned into one of the biggest blessings of his life, if not the biggest blessing of his life. Because once he was able to get in there, and once he, decided, make no mistake, it's a choice. You got to decide this. You can't just allow it to, just take its course, because that will never turn out good for you. You have to choose to do better. And, when you're in trouble, it's hard to make that good choice. It really is. It's extremely hard to make that choice. And so when you get in trouble, is it your friend or your foe? Yeah, Tommy is a legend for sure. For sure. It's sorry guys, I was just looking down here a little bit, trying to catch some stuff there. All right, but yeah, guys, honestly, yeah. So we have to understand that that's what's happening, right? So when something negative happens and it looks negative to us, it doesn't have to stay that way. We're going to have to choose to take that, grab it, turn it around, look at it in its face, and be like, hey, I'm tired of being in that negative part of my life. We need to go on to the positive. And that's what we're doing. Right? And we help each other in here. And as we get moving on and as we do things, you're going to recognize that more as you're in your recovery. Okay? I would say that some people, I don't want to put a number on it, but a lot of people are going to need that initial, hey, stupid, smack against the head, right? For me, it wasn't necessarily that. There was no, hey, this is you're going to go over here and none of that telling anything. For me, it was looking in my wife's eyes and seeing how bad she was hurting. Okay? And my kids. Especially my oldest son. I could see it. I would look dead at him. And I think I would have rather have been, I don't know. You know what I mean? That is the worst feeling in the world. To look at somebody you love, knowing that you disappointed them so much in choices that you made because you stopped caring. You did. And you needed that to make you realize, hey, I went, on the outside it looks like you stopped caring, but on the inside you didn't want to be that way. You just couldn't, you were just making bad decisions. And sometimes it takes that look from that person that you love to, it's like a knife to the chest. It really is. It really is, guys. I would have much rather somebody just legitimately physically smack me than have to look, when I revisit that whole when I first got help moment in my mind, that's the first thing I remember is the look in their face, the disappointment of what the heck are you doing? Why are you doing this? All those things come flooding back. And I'm not going to sit here and like pretend, because I get emotional about it, especially if I'm here by myself or whatever. I start thinking about things like that, and and that in itself can be good or bad. If it's going to cause you to want to go do bad things, right? Then obviously it's not a good thing. But some self-reflection and reflecting back, especially on the bad parts of our addiction, is healthy. It's like one of those, it just wakes you up. Just wakes you up. So yeah, I mean, I really hope that people, when they get to that moment, that's what they see. I hope they get a chance to be able to feel that disappointment that your loved ones had at that moment. Feel how they felt like you betrayed them so at a level that is just ridiculous. Okay? You don't have to hold on to that, but you need to remember that's what, don't feel guilty as you're getting into your recovery, but remember that was you. That was you making those decisions. Right? Hey, Brandon, that was you making all that stuff go on. But it was also you that decided not to do that anymore. Okay? So remember that all that bad stuff happened, but at the same time, you were turning stuff around, and it was good. You took that situation, and because of either yourself or whoever, in my case it was my wife and my kids, they refocused me. And I didn't even know it was happening. They took me and said, hey man, don't look over here. You need to be looking over here. And then once you figure out what's over here and here, then you can look right in the middle. Right? You got to know your surroundings. So when we go and do things and we get in trouble because of our addiction, and for us it would be breaking the law, or maybe you made a bad decision and you betrayed a loved one at any level, whatever you're talking about. Is that good or bad? It's truly a question. I'm not saying that I have the answer for that. I'm saying that answer is different for everybody. Because, like I said before, sometimes you need that smack, and other times you need compassion. And the thing of it is, your loved ones don't know what to do. Okay? And that's the other thing that we like to try to do here, is to try to help those people recognize when you're in trouble. I mean, that's really what it is. If they can recognize that, then they can help you. Help your loved ones understand that when somebody's in addiction, it's not necessarily that person acting on things. It's that person under the influence of a chemical. And we've been beating this to death about how we are forever changed in our brain, and that's a fact that none of us are ever going to be able to get rid of, right? But you have to look at it like this: if you have diabetes, if you have a heart issue, if you've got whatever you've got going on, you can't get rid of that either. Does it mean that you shouldn't help yourself? You should. You should address it, and you keep moving. And let me tell you something, guys. It was probably, and I haven't shared this with a whole lot of people, it took me almost 5 years to be able to laugh again. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, okay? And I mean truly laugh. I'm not talking like watching a funny movie and chuckling. I'm talking like a full out, like, belly laugh. Like, man, that cracked me up. I couldn't get to that point. I couldn't find that happy, right? But the other thing that happened to me was I couldn't find that sad either. I was numb. My grandfather passed away. I didn't even cry. And that's not me. Usually I'm the guy that's just losing it. And yeah, I didn't. And when that happened at my grandpa's funeral and through his calling and all that, I had to sit back and I had to like tell myself, why am I not emotional? Why am I not feeling like this? And then it dinged off in my brain. Hey, listen, your brain was this way. Now you're trying to, go around it, hit a speed bump, do all these other things. But let me tell you, today when I think about it, I can cry. Because I found out what normal was again. I found out what happiness is supposed to feel like. Real happiness. Not the fake stuff that you throw in your vein or swallow or smoke it up. The real stuff. The stuff that never leaves your memory. The stuff that you can call up right away. And be like, man, there it is. Yes, that makes me so happy. All right? I can remember that first moment of like after I got help, and it was years. I'm just being honest, and this is just me, okay? Not everybody's physical aspects are the same. Not everybody progresses at the same time. But for me, I remember the time when I finally felt true happiness again. I was on vacation, standing at the ocean with my wife, my 2 sons, and my daughter. And I truly felt like I was happy at that moment. And, And sometimes it takes people to get, again, into trouble and use that. Use that as a tool. If you've got kids, don't be afraid. Ask questions, right? Okay. So let me just kind of address the chat here. Oh, while we're talking, guys, you guys see my little backdrop I got going on there? You guys like that? Not sure if you guys like that or not. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I got a little R2D2 thing back there. It actually changes color. Watch. See that? And then it actually has a mode where it'll cycle through colors. I'm a big Star Wars geek. Big Star Wars geek. Hey, Okay. So, anyway, I just wanted to show that to you guys real quick. I'm actually sitting at my dining room table right now. It's a little bit different for me, right? Hold on a second, guys. Be right back. Stupid camera. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. There it is. You like that R2D2, do you, Leisure? That's cool, isn't it? I actually have a remote here for it, too. You can put a timer on it. Everything. That right there will probably cycle through colors, I think. And I tried to find a balance here of if it was too bright or whatever. I didn't want to distract you guys either, so I understand. I get it. All right, let's go ahead and shut that off. On. Cycle through. So I can turn it up, turn it down. Yeah, you guys know how it works, right? We'll just leave it like that for now. How about that? You guys like my Kool-Aid cup? I got a little Grogu here too. Like I said, guys, I'm a Star Wars fanatic. Just letting you see that. He's eating a frog right there. So yeah. But anyway. So, you guys got anything you guys need to talk about? Or if you guys want to talk about this a little bit more, we can. And again, guys, I'm sorry that I don't have about yesterday. I really feel like I let you guys down yesterday. I really do. And I don't need, like, it's okay, Mark, or whatever in the chat. I'm good. I'm just, I really do. I've been, I can do better. I'll put it to you that way. Do I like the Kool-Aid cup? Oh, yeah. That's right, 40 foot. That's right, baby. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could show you the cup, too. I think I showed it to you guys already once. Can't remember. Wife got it for me for Christmas. Believe it or not, guys, one of her friends makes these. She buys the cups, and she's got a cricket. So she prints the whatever label it is, and then she puts some sort of a clear on it. So yeah, I'll make you a mod. No big deal, Flaming, for sure. Yeah, like I said, guys, typically on the channels that I frequent, if I'm a moderator or if somebody's a moderator with me on a different channel, I'll typically go ahead and make them a moderator on my channel too, because it only makes sense. It's not like we're showing favoritism. It's just that it makes sense. You know what I mean? Did you like yesterday, Stacy? Yeah, guys, I don't know. Maybe, I think sometimes me and Tommy both, we kind of hold ourselves to a level. And when we don't feel like we personally hit that level, we feel like it could have affected somebody in a negative way. You know what I mean? This is a very, very, I don't want to oversay this, but it is just the truth. That this is a big responsibility. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why we take the steps that we take. Like if you look down there at the bottom left, I added that slide. And that's the suicide helpline. And then you get the SAMHSA. That's the drug addiction hotline right there. And, yeah. But, yeah, guys. And again, I mean, like I said before, we hold ourselves to a different level. And when I'm not here with Tommy, and when Tommy's not here with me, I think we both kind of feel like the level needs to be, the bar needs to be higher for us that day. And I can tell you right now, I completely just did not hit that bar yesterday. At least I didn't feel like I did. And, and I'm glad you guys appreciated it and everything. And I really do. I'm glad that you guys were here and were able to get something from it. I'm not saying I completely failed. I just know that I could have done a lot better. And it does. It bothers me. Because here's the thing. I think if it didn't bother me, I think that would be a bigger problem. Just saying. Here's the other thing too, guys. Sometimes our views will go up, down, all around, and all that kind of stuff. When you do a video, like I did a video yesterday, and we didn't get, and I'm not saying this for this reason, we didn't get very many views yesterday. I don't think it was because of what I did yesterday. Because that's not really how that works. Okay? When somebody or a channel is going along and they're getting a certain amount of views, and then they have a video where they don't get very many at all, or 2 or 3 in a row, sometimes there's no reason for it at all. But other times, it's not going to be what you did in that video. It's going to be what you did the video or 2 videos before. Because people clicking on this video, that automatically gives you a view, right? Just like that. They don't even know what you're saying yet. So that's what I'm trying to say. The low view count usually is a residual of what you've done in videos in the past, recent past, I would say, like a couple of them. And I was also gonna, I'm gonna explain this to you guys just real quick too. When I get passionate about something, like over on Wages World, I talk about all the positivity channels that I go to, right? And obviously I promote this one, and I will never not. But there is something to be said for saying it too much, because then it becomes numb to people, and I struggle with finding that line. And seventh, if you guys look over and looked at my pinned comment on that last video, seventh was in there taking up for me big time, and I appreciate it. I really do, because let's just face it, when stuff like that happens, most of the time, the creator or the channel owner doesn't have to say anything. If they've got people that like them, that are watching and truly like them, like I would go as far as, hey, I love you guys and care about you guys, right? And you guys reciprocate that. And when somebody does or says something to me in a comment section, I get protected. That's just real. It's completely real. So it's not that we don't want to defend ourselves. It's that defending ourselves only brings more attention to it anyway. When we shouldn't even have to defend ourselves on most subjects anyway. But, if it does need defended, typically we don't have to defend it. Usually our subscribers will do it. And that's true across YouTube or any social media platform you go to. Their subscriber base typically will take care of all that stuff for you. Peer pressure is sorry about the language, but peer pressure is a bitch, right? Ain't that what? That's what's going on there. If I come out here and start slamming somebody in the comment section, it doesn't do any good. But if one of their peers says it, then people take it serious. And that's really the way it should be. And I really do appreciate you guys. I can't even tell you. But yeah, here's the other thing too, guys. Our 97% junk DNA is not junk. I agree. But yeah, here's the other thing that you're probably going to start seeing here for a minute. Yes, Tommy is freaking rock solid, brother. And I'm so appreciative that we found each other. Yep. Good one, seventh. Like that. You're probably going to notice across all the social media platforms right now, and I just want to say this because I don't want people to think things are wrong, like bad things are happening across any social media platform. Somebody that you watch, the views across the board right now are going to start going down some. Cool, Ray. Awesome. I'm not sure if you heard me over there on Marfugal. I was over there, it's been a minute. But yeah. Yeah, what was I saying? Anyway. What was I saying? Huh? Oh. Yeah, the views, sorry, that was my wife. See? Even when I don't think she's listening, she is. And then when I want her to listen, she don't. Just saying. Anyway. I'm just kidding. But this is the time of year. There's like a watch season, if I could say that. Views start dropping a little bit, but I want to add this into it too. Okay? When you have stuff happening in the world, geopolitically, or, the drums of conflict are getting beat on right now, a lot of people are focused on that. Okay? So you're going to see some of your channels that typically have a higher view count, they're kind of probably going to drop a little bit. Now, we just talking about Marfugal, his is probably going to skyrocket. because that's what he does, right? He reports on the news and what's going on around the world and all that stuff, right? And I have to say, guys, Marfugel's awesome. Anybody that's never been over to Marfugel, please go. Please, for the love of God, get over there. Not only does he report stuff in a really professional way, him and Dex, but they provide all the sources. You can go to their website and you can pull up whatever show you're looking at. You click on it, and all the links there for all the sources. And he'll tell you, go look at the sources. Don't, take what I say with a grain of salt. Go look at the sources. Here they are. This is where I got my information. So you can believe how you want to believe. And that's, he doesn't force things on the people, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I think he's successful. And that's why people are so defensive of him, because he deserves it. Him and Dex both are awesome people. So, yeah. If you guys haven't been over there, please go. It's a great platform. He does a great job. But back to what I was saying, you're going to see channels that typically get, I don't know, we were averaging probably 200, 225, sometimes 250 during a video stream. And you're probably going to lose some there, is what I'm trying to say. The percentage of it's going to, you're going to drop down some. It's just a fact. It doesn't, I could come out here with gold bars and diamonds and give them to everybody, and the view count's still going to go down. It ain't going to matter. So, and that's what I'm trying to say. You can't, if you're going to look at a video that has a certain amount of views on it, I just don't want you guys to get discouraged, like, whatever reason. And again, guys, me and Tommy, we take it very serious. So when that stuff does happen, we try to pivot and we try to react, but we also have to be real and recognize when the view season is, right? So yeah, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. We don't judge our success by the amount of people or the amount of views that we get. We judge our success by the amount of real relationships we build with each other and our ability to help those relationships when needed. We facilitated that. Everybody really needs to understand that, because we didn't have to. We could have just kept doing what we were doing, making uploaded videos and all that, right? And we could have grown the channel. It would have grown. It still is. That's what I'm saying. We hit 2,200 and some subscribers now. We were stuck at I can't remember, I don't know, it was like 2,100 for, like a month. So yeah. Geez, not judgmental. You okay there, Raven? You all right? Well, thank you, Ray. I appreciate you, man. If you ever need something, please hit us up. Let us know if you need something, and we do try to help. And I think that most people here will agree with that. Let me look at something real quick. Give me 1 second here. Whatever. Anyway, okay, guys. I am going to go ahead and end it, I think, guys. We got, yeah. So, and again, guys, Tommy will be back when he is ready to be back. His hands are killing him right now. I couldn't imagine. He has problems with his hands anyway, right? And working on that floor, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. So, but all right, guys, I do love all you guys. You guys need something, please hit us up in the emails. Call the numbers here that are there. Hit us up on, in the Facebook group. And we do answer. We try. We try our best. Sometimes there'll be a couple days where we can get to some of the emails, but most of them we get to pretty quickly. And, what's Tommy say? Go out and save somebody, right? And, here's how I end it for me, and I really don't know how to end it any other way. But yeah, so God bless, Yahusha saves, and yeah, it's not a cat in a basket, guys, but it's a Kool-Aid cup. How about that? All right. Oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, before I had my bariatric surgery, this is how I got the name Kool-Aid. When I wore a red shirt, I looked like the Kool-Aid man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys. Love you guys. Stay good. Sorry about that. Let's do this first. How about an end screen? You guys want an end screen? How about that?